And away we go.
All right, let's get this started. How's it going so far?
Life is great.
Yeah, life is pretty good. It's a bit cold, but it's also sunny, so that's I guess that's great. So, what's in the news today?
Alright, let's start off with the elephant in the room.
Hmm. Okay, what is this elephant in the room that you speak of?
So, as of this recording, it's just a couple days until the TikTok ban, and already so many people in the United States are flocking over to a Chinese based and operated social media platform. And I just find it hilarious because the whole TikTok ban is because of foreign adversaries and China getting US data, but only for Americans to flock over to another social media platform that is not just owned by people in China, but is also based in China.
Also, yeah, like I really don't get that. Wouldn't it make sense? And I'm not trying to snitch on anybody, but wouldn't it make sense to also ban any that, including any other apps that are associated with China if we don't trust China so much?
Good point. Very good point.
I mean, because it's like, here's the thing: they're just banning TikTok and they're attacking TikTok, yet there are still other apps out there that are made in China, from China. I mean, shoot. I mean, as the U.S., we get stuff from China, so it's like not just technology wise, but just like food wise, man. It's like, bro, why are we worried about something as little as an app?
Because two reasons. Firstly, TikTok, not just being the most widely used social media platform, has functions that has brought to light many of the world events in ways that the higher ups and or elites cannot control. Like, there are stories and events that some people in particular do not want us to know, but because of how TikTok runs and operates, and as well as how they highlight search terms and content, it's just hard to hide and deny what goes on in this world. Second reason, the reason why the United States government is going after TikTok particularly is because begin is by eliminating the biggest foreign platform, this gives a bigger market share for other platforms that are based in the United States.
That's a very good point. That is absolutely a very good point. And my add on this, man. It's like it's just the hypocrisy with, like, the United States, man. It's like we're not only hypocrites, but we're just, I don't know, we're just focusing on the wrong thing, man. It's like it's just TikTok. I mean, I'll be honest, I personally don't use TikTok nor like TikTok, but look, I personally don't like. Look, I would say, like, TikTok definitely needs to improve on certain things, such as, like, how they handle certain people, and how, like, and who they let on the platform, But other than that, like, I really see no real problem with TikTok. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, as for the youth is concerned, yes, no, I do see a problem. It's like they're scrolling way too much, and they need to go outside and, like, touch some grass. I can't talk because I don't go outside either. Still, the point is, it's like, look, man, we have bigger things to worry about other than, TikTok. I mean, I personally don't care. I personally don't care because I'm never going to use TikTok, and my data is never going to be on the line. But, like, as for other people, though, it's like I just believe that most people don't care. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Most people don't necessarily care whether their data is being leaked or not. Do you think people really care about that? I mean, people are just gonna flock to another alternative that was made in China anyway. So, just like we're treating TikTok like this, we should be treating every other app like this, and that is made from China. Every live streaming app, every just social media, so anything that has to do with social media in general. I personally have no problem with the Chinese. I love the Chinese. I love the Chinese. I love their food. I love everything about them. They're great. So I personally have no problem with them, and I personally don't care if their products are on the American app stores. But yeah, as for the U.S., is like if you're gonna treat TikTok like this, you have to treat every app like this. I mean,
Ab-
just so there's some consistency.
oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, yeah, it's like, but for the most part. What can we really do about it, though? And the answer is nothing. We literally can't do a dang thing about it because, well, who really has the power? The people at the top. They have the power. We don't have the power. We just have a voice. But that voice can easily be ignored. And on top of that, us as Americans, we're not really united to the point where, we can come in agreement on certain things. It's like we have our own separate opinions on certain things and certain activities, and we all have our own opinions. And that's all nice, and that's nice and all, but when it comes to the country, we need to all come into agreement. And yeah, it's like they clearly do. The people at the top clearly do certain things to keep us all separated and all, just distracted from, like, what's really important. I would say I would go out of the way and say, like, man, being a Republican, being a Democrat means absolutely nothing to me, at least. It means a lot to other people, and frankly, to those people, it's their whole identity, it's their religion in a way. But it's like, man, you got to figure out what's really important, though.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what's really important, man. This stuff, this life in general, is just not important. It's important that you live a good life, and that you live a good life, in my case, according to God. But as far as life goes in general, I don't know. It just confuses me on why people make a big deal out of these things when it's not going to matter when we die. That's my confusion with everything that is happening. I don't know. I don't think there's really any real answer to this question. Why do people get so overly hyped about stupid stuff, such as political opinions, such as politics, everything, man? It's just dumb to me. Do you have an answer for that?
No, I don't have an answer, but there could be ways of making our lives more meaningful and in ways that we can contribute to the lives and the society and the communities we serve.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, I 100% agree with that, man. It's man, life is funny sometimes, but it's also very just confusing and complicated. But hey, man, what are we really gonna do about it?
Not much.
Yeah, exactly. Can't do much. But is there anything? Actually, no. There is another thing that we talked about a couple of minutes ago.
Yes.
There is another app that you mentioned in the chat earlier.
Yes. Now, which one is it? Because one one app I mentioned in our chat with Risk, and then there's another app I mentioned on the community server for the project we're working on.
The community server, that the project that we're working on. Wait, which one did you mention to Risk? Red Note, right?
Well, on the chat with Risk, Red Note. On the community server for our project we're working on is Neptune.
Yes, Neptune. Yeah, I wonder where they got that name from. Nah, let me stop. But, like, tell us a bit more about the app, because, like, I'll be honest, I really don't know what they're all about. Like, how long have you been in the server also? And when did
I joined their server on Discord a couple days ago, and I have seen promotions of Neptune last few weeks on Instagram and Facebook, and the impression I got from it is an alternative social media platform where you have control of what content you want to watch, and you can also customize your own algorithm when it comes to the kinds of videos that you want to watch. So it's giving users power on what content they want to watch and how they engage and contribute to their communities on Neptune.
Hmm. That's a very interesting concept. I believe that's something that we also want to strive to be. Like, isn't am I?
Yes,
I mean,
it is something similar to what we want to do. Although the only difference is that for our project, we got this idea of having a post-mortem survey slash community moderation system as one of our backbones to our project's operations. So we're kind of utilizing on the community contributions part but on steroids, kind of. Not a lot, but just a bit.
Okay. Well, Neptune should be a pretty interesting app. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's not much I'm really seeing of it, but like I found their Instagram, I found their Twitter account. Don't ask. I just looked up the name and like it just popped up there. It was pretty easy actually. But hey, I'll be honest. I joined a Discord server too. I'm gonna see what they're talking about, and I may stay, I may leave. Who knows? But hey, I still wish them the best because we're all on the same mission. We're all doing the same thing. So therefore, man, I gotta say it, man. I mean, like I hope they do well. I hope we all really do well, honestly, and we can coexist somehow. But at the same time, there's gonna be a sense of competition in a way. We all know that. So we just gotta strive to be the best. And we just gotta strive to, obviously, if there is competition, then hopefully it's healthy. If it's not healthy, then so be it. We just have to do what we can, to catch up. Right now we're not necessarily up anywhere. I mean, in fact, I'd be lying if we say that we are up anywhere. But we'll eventually get there. It will just take a lot of time.
Yes.
Yeah. And time is simply all we need. It's just time to get everything done, get everything developed, get everything like making an app takes a lot of time, but where we want to make this, perfect. Even if it's not all the way perfect, mostly good. The majority of it good. And I would say we would want to make it 99.9% good. Or at least 95% good, with a 5% not being that big of a deal. And we can easily fix. And if any case, 90% good, with the 10% still not being as bad. The point is we want to make it dang near perfect. Obviously everything is not going to be perfect, but that's what we're there for. That's what we're here for, to fix any problems that we have not sought to see before. And we just want to give the users a great experience, experience when it comes to content creation. And we want people to have fun, making content. They used to have fun in 2016, when content creation was becoming, not in 2016, more probably 20, I don't know, 2011, right? 2010, one of the two. Pretty much we want to give people an outlet to have fun and just be themselves. That's pretty much how much I can sum it up. I think I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, for the most part, that's pretty much our mission. We want to make social media a social media app that's fun, that eventually people can make a living off of. Of course, that'll definitely take time. Probably take more time than making the actual app. But we got this at the end of the day. But is there anything else in the news?
Yes. Who'd you rather have as president? Donald Trump or Adolf Hitler?
I'm gonna say neither. I mean, I'll be honest. Not because I hate Adolf Hitler, but not because I hate Adolf Hitler. I don't hate him, but I don't know. I mean, I'd say every leader has their flaws and has their and has their ways of thinking.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, so it's I can't necessarily say I'd agree with every one of them. I mean, okay, from a standpoint from a compromisable standpoint, if I had to pick, I'd have to pick Adolf Hitler because he. So, but I guess in the sense of not, but I guess in the sense of but if I had to, and if also if I had to judge off of the sense of having Americans just be Americans and just be together, be in the same country regardless of race, I'd have to pick Donald Trump because I would say even if he in this day and age, even if he wanted to deport the people who aren't full white Americans, I would say in this day and age he couldn't because it would just be frowned upon. It would just be frowned upon. So it's just one of those things where, but he does have some good policies. But my general analysis is none of them because look, I don't know much about I know a good amount about Hitler, but I'm not sure how true or false they are. So I can't necessarily make a general analysis off of that. And Trump, I know about him, and I know that he's clear controlled opposition. So I'll be honest, it doesn't really matter what race they are. All I know is that the people at the top are controlling him, and that they're using him as a tool to they're using him as a tool to bring in the new world order. Now, would Hitler be easily compromised as Trump? I don't know. He's not here. But I feel like he probably would. Or he would die believing what he believed. Or he would probably just play the game, pretend he is compromised, but then in reality usher in his real plan, his real world, the world that he wants to live in. Frankly, I've heard that Hitler didn't like black people, but I'm not 100% sure about that either. It says that he doesn't like black people, so I really, but putting my personal opinion aside, I wouldn't pick any of them, just because I don't know if what they're saying about Hitler is true. And as for Trump, he's just not our guy. I don't have a problem with Trump. I think Trump could probably be a great guy. To his he probably could be a great family man. He's probably a great family man, a great friend to have. All in all, as the conservative men say, one of the boys. I'm not a liberal either. I'm neither, actually. I'm not a conservative nor a liberal. I have no loyalty to any of those parties. But as the conservative men said, he's just one of the boys. I probably could hang with Trump, but he's ushering in the new world order. He's doing all that stuff. He's doing all this stuff. He's fulfilling biblical prophecies, and so no, I don't like any of them. What about you? Who would you pick?
To be honest, this is a tough decision because, well, yeah, I know that some are compromised to an extent, but the question should ask is, what ideas do they have that will benefit the nations that they rule? And how will they make people's lives better?
That is a good way of thinking about it.
Yeah, I understand there's always going to be flaws in people that get into power, and the fact there's always some strings attached. But which is the lesser of the evils?
Now, I wish I can think of it that way, but fortunately, I'm not going to say, because it's not unfortunate that I also have this different perspective. I also have the perspective of, biblical knowledge and just everything biblical. And I'm like, when I see what he's doing, I'm like, this man might be the antichrist. This man is ushering in the new world order and everything. So it's the fact that I have that knowledge too that makes me say that I don't care for I wouldn't vote for the guy. But if I was not a Christian and I had no idea about the new world order, and I had no idea about all the biblical prophecies that are being fulfilled, I'd pick Trump. I'd probably pick Trump. I'd be like, Trump is my guy. America first. Make America great again. Rah, rah, rah. Red hat. Oh, I'm not ashamed of my president. I'm going to wear a MAGA hat even when it's not cool to wear it because I'm a real American.
America.
No.
America.
Ricka. But but now when I hear that, I'm like, bro, when I see stuff like that now, I'm like, bro, is he your god or something? Like, bro, who cares? Who cares if a man hates you because of Trump? He won't save you. He won't save you from what's to come when you die. Yeah, sure, he'll make life probably comfortable as you're living, but it's like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. To an extent, having pride in your country is useless. Now, you can be proud of where you're from, but if pride in your country is your whole identity, then bro, this is a useless identity. It only benefits you if you're in your country, or maybe if you're in your country. It only benefits you when you're in your country. When you travel somewhere else, no one cares about your American pride. No one cares that you're a proud American. If you were No one cares about your red, white, and blue. No one cares about your sweet home Alabama. I'm joking about that, but still, like, no one will care. And if that's your whole identity, cool. But it's like, bro, you're putting your trust in not only whichever president you choose to vote for, but you're putting your trust in your country to protect you, and you're putting your trust in your military, which you should to some extent. But I'm saying it shouldn't be your whole thing. So it's like, man. But yeah, no, secularly, I would pick Trump because I don't really know all the. Because, like, look, there are a bunch of things coming out about Hitler, that he wasn't actually a bad guy, that he didn't actually kill millions of Jews and all that stuff. But I don't know if that's true or not. I only know from the history books, but we all know that the victors are the ones who write history. So therefore, can you trust the victors who wrote history? That's the question. Jame, do you 100% trust the victors who wrote history for them to, like, write accurate history? Or do you think to some extent that they lie?
I'd say there will come a point that may fabricate parts of history just to get some benefit in the long term, even after their lifetime comes to an end.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's like I say, the truth will always come to the light. So therefore, it's like, yeah, it's like the victors who wrote history. Yeah, clearly they're going to probably, say some things to make themselves look good. You can't trust some people to be objectively truthful, but you can trust some people to be objectively truthful. And if they fabricate some stuff that's not really that significant to history, then fine. But it's like, yeah, you gotta like, seek this.
You got to call it out at some point.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta call it out. I mean, you know, Risk says, like, Hitler wasn't a bad guy. I don't 100% trust that to be true. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone has their good and bad sides. Everyone has their flaws. I'm not going to say Hitler was this mighty hero, but I'm also not going to say that he was the worst human in the world. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are I'm pretty sure there are far worse people than Hitler in history.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I mean, like, or probably just as bad as Hitler. I'm not going to say he was all the way bad. But I'm also not going to say he was all the way good either. I mean, yeah, it's like probably a ruthless leader. And, like, look, depending on, I would say, like, man, I just don't make that my. That's another thing too. Some people make Hitler their whole identity. Some people worship this man, and I'm like, bro, he's dead. He's in the grave. I don't know what his beliefs were, but he's either up or down. He's either up or down. He's somewhere. I don't know. I don't know, man. But, like, it's like, look, Hitler's dead. It's like, bro, it's like, worship God, not Hitler. I mean, it's a better alternative. And on top, like, I just don't. I try not to praise these leaders like that, because it's like, all right, cool. If you do some things that I agree with, then fine. And if you're willing to stand on what you say, which most leaders aren't, then great. I'm just trying to wonder what year in history. Actually, no, you probably did say it. He probably did say it in, like, other podcasts. But what year in history exactly did we become controlled? Like, because I believe, I'm optimistic that at one point, yeah, we were definitely free. We were, you can be the average American, get your newspaper, go to work, have a nice suit on, maybe have a hat on. You know, black and white people used to dress very great. You know, used to dress very great. In suits and all that stuff. We had families. And yeah, there was probably some conflict. There were probably some conflict between the two, but ultimately speaking, we coexisted. We coexisted together in the country, and then obviously other people came in, which no problem with that, no problem with that at all. But some people do have a problem with it, and but nothing really we can do about it. America's one of the most diverse countries. And some people say it's our greatest strength. Some people say it's our greatest weakness. And I don't know if it's either our greatest strength or our greatest weakness. I'm pretty sure at one point I did say it was our greatest strength. I'm pretty sure somewhere last year I said it was one of our greatest strengths. But hey,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is, though. It's like
But it was what it was.
exactly. But I'm not gonna lie. During the course of this conversation, I forgot what the main point we were talking about was.
It was, who would you want as president? Donald Trump or Adolf Hitler?
Oh yeah. Oh, you said. Oh yeah, right. You said it was kind of. You said it was kind of difficult for you to decide.
Yes, because it's about what ideas do they have that would benefit the people more in the long term.
Yeah. So yeah. So what do you think Trump would have that would benefit the people in the long term? Let's start with that.
Well, the thing is, Donald Trump, whether people like it or not, he is a businessman, and for years, well, actually, for decades, actually, many people will say he had many failed businesses. And that's true. There have been businesses that Trump has started that has failed. However, there have been a few businesses that have went on to succeed, and those businesses would have succeeded so well to the point he would become a billionaire, not in a short amount of time, but he would guarantee be a billionaire
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But at the
And also, if he didn't become such a successful businessman, he didn't have the net worth, the billions of dollars of net worth that he has today, he would not have run for president. Because when he ran, he didn't expect people to donate to. He didn't expect donors to donate to his campaign. Because the reason why he won in 2016 is he went against the norms of the traditional presidential candidates who've relied on donors to give them money to get them far to become the next president of the United States.
yeah, that's true. But I will say for the first point, didn't we find out like months ago that he was bailed out of his debt?
Yeah, I've heard something about debts being bailed.
Yeah, because just like Elon Musk, I can't necessarily, he was bailed out, and it's because of that he's probably like who knows how long he's been controlled though. But I will say, you know what? Despite that, I will give him credit. Yeah, he made a success out of himself, and whether he was bailed out or not, regardless, he was able to carry himself as the man that he is now today, and he was able to earn the respect of the American people and and probably even earn the respect of some people who don't necessarily agree with him, you know. So I'll give Trump that, and yeah, it's because and like you're absolutely right, he definitely went against the mold of not asking people for money because he already made the money, so he was able to like kind of do it himself. So yeah, like that's respectable. Is there anything else that you like about the guy?
Well, when I first heard about him, uh, I think when he won in 2016, I was in high school, and uh, my teachers in high school and a couple of my mates in my class and year group,
They were pissed off.
yes, you could say they were pissed off, but also they were more like questioning, like, how can people vote for this guy? Like, why does he want to make America a business or something like that?
That's true. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard about Trump, sorry. You know how I learned about Trump? It was literally through professional wrestling. Like not because I was watching some other wrestling show outside of WWE. It was called TNA, and I'm pretty sure this one Mexican wrestler called Donald Trump out to fight, and
Ah,
but obviously Donald Trump did not respond. And I'm like, wait, bro, who is Donald Trump? And then I guess I looked him up from there, and I'm like, oh, that's Donald Trump, because I didn't know who Donald Trump was. I guess the guy thought he was. I guess the guy just thought he was a racist or to Mexicans or something. I don't know. I forgot which year it was, but yeah, I forgot the guy's name. I forgot the wrestler's name specifically, but I know he called out Donald Trump to a wrestling match or something like that. I don't know. And I'm like, now I'm really thinking about it, I'm like, of course you didn't get a response, bro. Come on. You really thought you were gonna
although
you really
although that does remind me actually, the first time I've heard about Donald Trump, I think there was an interview. This woman asked the question, "How are you going to tackle immigration?" And I think Donald Trump said something along the lines of, "We're going to build a wall, and the Mexicans are going to pay for it," or something along those lines. That's the first time I've heard of Donald Trump. he was being interviewed asking what's he going to do about immigration. He says he was going to build a wall across the Mexican border, and the Mexicans are going to pay for it.
Got you.
So yeah,
I'll be honest. I don't think I necessarily completely paid attention to the campaign of Donald Trump because, well, I was a kid. I didn't care. I was in middle school, but I know he won, and I knew people were upset about it.
I still didn't care because it's like it wasn't affecting my life. I was a kid.
Well, it was affecting my life, but I didn't know that because I was a kid. I just personally didn't care. Donald Trump won. Okay, cool. But yeah, it's like, man, Donald Trump definitely has a reputation in many areas of his life. What Either good or bad, doesn't matter. He has a reputation, and yeah, I would say people thought he was better in 2016, and now people think he's just a watered down old version of himself, even though he was old before. But yeah, no, he's not the same guy that he once was, and I can see why people are saying that he's not the same guy that he once was. I mean,
yeah, very true.
but I assume that but I guess he just has to be a bit more careful now because well, he's in the club. He's in the club now. He's in it with the Jewish people.
He kissed the ring.
He kissed the wall.
Yes, that too.
And he wore a yarmulke on his head.
Yes, he did.
I don't get that. I personally don't get that, but it's whatever. I know he's not Jewish. I also know he's not Christian either. I don't know what he is.
Well, he is something, all right.
But even I knew. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of knew that he was using the whole. I kind of knew that he was using Jesus' name to appeal to the Christians in his movement. And I'm like, and even if JD Vance is a Christian, I kind of knew he was using that to his advantage as well. I mean, politics is a very deceitful business. If you're too honest, there are going to be a bunch of people that don't like you. There are going to be some people that do like you. And if you lie, well, you might get liked by most people if you lie. But ultimately, if they find out that it's a lie, then they're going to hate you. So,
yeah,
you might as well just tell the truth off the bat on what you're going to do with the country. I would say, I'm not going to say stretch the truth,
but I'm also not going to say over-exaggerate the truth and make it. But yeah, just make it sound good, though, but while also still being honest. Although I don't know how to do that. If it sounds bad, it sounds bad. If it sounds good, it sounds good. But yeah, it's like, for the most part, I'd say, when it comes to Trump, man, when it comes to politics in general, it's like a slippery slope. And I'll be honest, man,
I would like to do something, but I'm probably not. But it's probably never going to happen. I just don't see it happening
with me at least. And if it is with me, I'd probably get threatened.
Actually, no, I probably wouldn't even make it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, with the views that I have, with the beliefs that I have, I probably would not even be one of the main runner-ups who's being talked about in the news. I mean, as you saw, every candidate wasn't even given a chance to be on the same stage as Trump and Kamala.
And Kennedy knew he was gonna lose, so he decided to just drop out. He's like, "Look, I know I'm gonna lose, so I'm gonna go on Trump's side." Like he
I'm not even trying to mock his voice. That's just kind of how he sounds.
Yeah.
He's like, I know I'm gonna lose, so I'm gonna go on Trump's side. Yeah, and he hopped on Trump's side, and now he's on the winning team.
So I don't even completely trust Kennedy either. The question is, who can you trust? Who can you really trust with these politics? The answer is no one. You can't trust anyone because either way, they're going to be controlled opposition. They're going to have a loyalty to either specific people, a specific state. I don't hate Israel either. I don't hate Israel because that's considered the holy. But I also don't hate Gaza either. I personally just wish they would both come to an understanding and make peace.
Me too.
Yeah. Instead of encouraging violence on one other side.
Encouraging violence, because if you support Gaza, you're encouraging violence to Israel, and if you support Israel, you're encouraging violence to Gaza. But I'm saying both of you, stop the war. But yeah, back to what I was saying. You can't trust anybody.
You can only trust God. Because, for the most part, God doesn't let you down.
Exactly.
Yeah, only people will really let you down. I would say, like, look, I'd be willing to vote for someone if I just saw that they didn't compromise until the very end. I'm not saying they have to die in order for me to trust them. But I'm also saying that, like, obviously, if they're in the club, if there's a way for them to kind of loop around what they want them to do, if they can somehow, like, kind of maneuver it where, like, they can still put in what they think is good for the people and genuinely good for the people, and not introduce some new world order where it won't benefit us, where they want to put chips in our heads and where they want to control us, then I'd say, yeah, I'd vote for that guy. But yeah, as of right now, I'm probably not going to vote for anybody. And I'm curious to see who's going to be running in 2028. That's really what I'm curious about. And if they're only focusing on, I would suggest that they don't focus on just two candidates, bro. Because, like, I'm not going to lie, that's not fair to the people who actually care about the country. I believe that the people who they don't focus on, those people are the people who actually care about the American people. They actually care about the country. They actually care about the parties that they're in. They want what's best for America, or what they perceive as best for America. Meanwhile, the people who are focused on the mainstream, yeah, obviously, I believe Trump has an intention for the American people, but he's going to have to listen to his handlers. And usher in a new world order, which is happening. So we just have to wait and see. I'm probably not going to even end up voting in the next election, because it's like, bro, dang, bro, it's just tough. I don't trust any of these people anymore. I don't know why Risk trust. I know he doesn't obviously all the way trust Trump, but at the same time he does. And it's like, who cares? I don't care anymore, bro. It's like, either way, the country's going to be, verbally effed, as most people say.
It screwed itself over.
It did. It's going to be verbally screwed. Either way, we're not going to get out of the debt that we're in. In fact, we're going to have to restart the whole system, and then we're going to take away physical money and replace it with digital money. And the only way we can spend that digital money is if we get a chip in our arm or a chip in our head, and that's not going to be funny. That's not going to be comfortable. We're going to be pretty much like drones. I mean, shoot. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're working on maybe they're in the process of, like, making people live forever. Who knows? But I'm saying, though, when I die, man, I die. I want to be dead. I want to, like, when it's my time, I want to die. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. It's not paradise. It's not a tropical paradise. Because, shoot, if I'm still here, like, in a time where I should have been dead, then, man, I'm just a dead man walking at that point. But I'll be more alive when I'm in the sky. But that's just me, though. Is there anything else in the news?
Yes, I've came across this. It's very, very interesting.
Huh. What is it? AI is getting realistic. Huh.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Is that Lola from from Shark Tale?
Yes.
She doesn't look good at all. Bro, Bro, look at that fish body. Like, bro, come on. What is this?
What? It's not.
In the cartoon version, Lola looked better.
Yeah, she did.
Not that I'm concerned about that, but I would have assumed that they would have at least probably tried with the chest there. Never mind. It's a fish. But still, it's like that's how most people would picture Lola. And Oscar, all right, I'm not gonna lie, Oscar looks like a little kid. What is this? Come on, man.
I have no idea.
Okay, the Shark Town looks pretty good. Sorry, the Fish Town looks pretty good, actually. It looks good. All right, I like that. Angie, no. What? It looks realistic, which is good, but they did Angie dirty. I mean, she actually looks worse than Lola, I'm gonna be honest with you. Wow.
That's crazy.
Ew, the sharks. Is that Lenny?
I think so.
Bro, why would you draw him?
They did this man dirty. And isn't the news report, bro? They're messing up these characters. It's like, bro, the fish characters look better than the realistic characters, bro. That is not how the fish reporter would look. And you know what? I'm not even that. Actually, no. The jellyfish don't. They just look goofy. They don't even look bad. They just look goofy with the eyes. And hold on. Okay, the disco's not that bad. It actually looks pretty good. You know what? I'll say this: they did a pretty good job with Mrs. Sanchez. You know, the old fat lady that was in Shark Tale. They kind of did a good job with her. This looks like this could be her.
Yeah.
And the fish taxis, they did great. But if I had to say, most of it looked ugly. I'm gonna be honest with you. What is that? Why?
It's just wow.
Why would they mess up? Not my childhood crush, but other people's childhood crushes like that. Which is Lola. Actually, no. I'm pretty sure Miss Bellum would. Never mind. But anyways, yeah. Why would they do that?
I have no idea.
It just looked bad. It's like, bro, especially Lenny. I think he got the worst of it. No, the news reporter and Lenny got the worst of it. Oscar, Oscar just needs to be aged up a bit and look like a man. He looks like a kid. I mean,
yeah, he does.
Also, yeah, he was wearing glasses too. Really? Come on, man. I mean, shoot. Yeah, no. But other than that, they look pretty decent. I'm not complaining. They look pretty decent. Actually, oh wait, no. Sorry, I contradicted myself real quick. They don't look decent at all. They look terrible. If I had to say which one looks better, I'd say out of all of them, I guess Oscar and Lola look the most normal. And Mrs. Sanchez, well, I can kind of picture her like that in real life, so she looked normal-ish as well.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but for the most part, the DOD, because they were on a man was on a Joe Rogan podcast where he was saying there's a reason why they want to distract us with Diddy. And let me just rewatch this to see what I found out here. Okay, so it's because the Biden administration pushed in a martial law or something like that. And people were so distracted they didn't even know. Yeah, it's like, and hold on. It gives the Pentagon power for the first time in history to use legal force to kill Americans on U.S. soil who protest government policies. That is a bit disturbing.
Yeah, that doesn't sound authoritarian at all.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was the land of the free, home of the brave. It turns out it's the land of the free and home of the brave only if you agree with the government. Only if you agree with the government. Like, they're gonna kill. You see, now here's the thing. I said this about social media, where they let you say certain things for a while until they get you out of here, until they kick you off because they see that you're going to be a problem in the future. And they're pretty much doing that with this martial law thing too, where well, except they're not even giving you a chance to say it. They're just going to kill you. They're just going to kill you if they see that you disagree with them. They're just going to flat out kill you. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing we can do about this. So here's the thing. I'm not going to lie. You know the reason why I stopped, talking about certain things that I talk about? That I used to talk about? Because, well, not only because it's a waste, not only because I personally get bored, but it's because I know that there's nothing that my voice will do to change that. I believe all of our voices can change it if we unite together, but we can't even unite on one topic to save our lives. We can't agree on multiple things to save our lives. If everyone knew the real truth about this country and about what they're doing behind our backs, I believe we would unite. And we can at least change some things, but I don't believe we'll change everything. And also, not gonna lie, ranting about who runs the world and the Jewish powers, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time to me because it's like it's not gonna change. And on top of that, you have to ask yourself, are you doing this because you truly care, or you're doing it because you genuinely don't like the people within that circle? Because of their race or just because of anything. And I don't hate anybody. And personally, I got bored of it. And that it's a waste of time to talk about it. And I just say, the people at the top. Well, because let's face it. Let me be honest real quick. There's less repercussions, and on top of that, yeah. There's just less repercussions. But also, I will say that most of them happen to be Jewish. I'll say that much, but that's it. I'm not gonna criticize them for being Jewish. I'm just gonna criticize. I would just criticize the actions that they're doing, but that's about it. And yeah, it's not a waste of time to tell people. It's definitely not. But it's a waste of time to complain about that. I will say that. And I might not be that person to complain about it, but there are other people on the internet who are going to complain about it for a living, specifically for money. But yeah, I'd say if you're unable to do anything about it physically, then bro, you shouldn't complain. Your voice is not going to change the world. Your voice is not going to change anybody's. All that matters is that and if you need to unite the American people as a whole to come into agreement on one thing and one thing only. And that's most people don't want our country compromised, want our country to be controlled by Israel. And if you can get people to agree to that, I believe that there can be a change, but it won't last for long. So the way I see it, this life in general, I'm not going to say it's a test. I'm not going to say that. But it is something that doesn't matter. Because we all know this bad stuff is going to happen. We all know why this bad stuff is happening. Some of us don't. Some people see the bad stuff happening and think that they can change the world themselves, but you can't change it. I would say that this is all biblical prophecy. So I'm just sitting back and waiting for everything to happen. I don't want the country to burn. I don't want anything to burn. But it'll happen because you have people out there who will make it burn. But yeah, that's how I see things. And it's also why it's I don't really talk about it that much. Cuz I don't see a purpose in it. Plus, I don't know. I just have this thing where I get bored of talking about one topic just one topic. That's why when I had the podcast, I tried to talk about everything. But even still, that got boring to me. Which is why I don't mind being on your podcast because it's not mine. But I like coming on here to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like coming on here to talk. Whether it's mine or not. It doesn't necessarily have to be mine. But yeah, what do you think?
Well, oh man, it's been a long day from where we began. I don't know why, it just came to my head all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, that song is very sentimental.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, it's I think you can agree that, what you're gonna do, career wise, it's not the best idea to talk to say certain things.
Yeah, but of course, I know for certain that there have been times I thought I would have gone the boot, like many people who have spoken out against the higher ups. But the thing is, they see me as some kind of valuable asset that will benefit them in the long run.
By them, who are you referring to?
I'm talking about the elite, so the industry professionals,
Oh.
and of course, the guys with the pointy hats. And I'm not talking about that particular group. I'm talking about the different kind of people with the pointy hats.
I'll be honest, I don't know what group, but I'm just gonna pretend I know what you're talking about with the second group with the pointy hats.
Yeah, okay.
I think I kind of get it though. Huh. So did people just come up to you and say you could be valuable? Is that how it works?
No, don't say it to me. I just know it. I know but throughout my life, the times that I thought, especially with Interpol, if you know, because that risk was well, you must be onto something if you actually got Interpol in attention.
Huh. Actually, yeah. You're right. Actually, no, yeah, you might be right, because I'm pretty sure... Yeah, yeah, it's I'd say you definitely have it.
Yeah.
You definitely have it. Out of all of us, it's you definitely have it. The accent,
the looks. You have it, and like yeah, it's like I can say that you have it. So it's like I can kind of see why you would be valuable to whoever they are.
Yes.
I can definitely see it. So I was like, yeah, it's like, yeah. And you thought times you were gonna get the boot, but you didn't because they see potential. I would say like if it ever came up though, you would probably have to write an apology or something.
Yeah. I feel that there will come a time something like that would happen.
Yeah,
But one thing's for sure, I will stand my ground.
yeah,
Because if I try to say that I try, if it looks like I'm trying to make an effort into being apologetic to something, they're gonna find out eventually. It's like, no, you don't mean that. You're just saying that because you have to.
yeah,
I'm not gonna have any of that. I'm gonna stand my ground, but at the same time, I'm gonna I'm gonna be strategic with the words that I use. Not that I'm concerned about who's going to get me and what they'll do to me.
yeah,
I just want to, because I know there is pro this or an anti that. There's always a middle ground. There's a difference between an individual as a person and an individual's work.
yeah.
That's one example I will make clear. I agree with the work they're doing, but not who they are as a person.
Okay, yeah. So like pretty much you have to put it in a way where it's like you have to pretty much apologize while also standing your ground at the same time. Like pretty much make it mutual. So even if like there is some backlash, there isn't so much backlash with the apology because like yeah, because like I know you'd be sorry with like about it, but I also know
Yes,
that you would stand your ground on certain areas of the topic, maybe the topic itself, but not like the person entirely.
exactly. Like, I throughout my whole life, I understand there's always going to be times of miscommunication. And I've been there. I've been there many times. That's something I will certainly be apologetic about.
Mm.
But everything else, I'll be firm, I will stand my ground, and I will clarify that what is going on and what people are talking about, there's some context that they may not be aware about, that if they knew about it, they wouldn't have asked to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's 100% true. So yeah, it's like I'd say even like me, I am trying to be careful with what I say because well here's the thing, if I get to I would say like regarding like whatever I do with my life as far as a career, like for instance if I were to go to WWE for instance, I'd have to be careful with what I say in regards to like the LGBTQ community because well I'm pretty sure there's some of them because like look, a bunch of vast majority of people of different sexual orientations watch a show like that. So yeah, it's like I would say I'd have to be mutual, but not gonna lie, it's a little too late for that. I would apologize for offending people, but I wouldn't necessarily apologize for you know my opinions about like certain people about like certain people and what they're doing. Actually, no, about what they're doing in general, about what they're doing because I believe it's sin. I believe it's a sin, and I won't apologize for that. I won't apologize for that. And even still, it's like yeah, it's like it's kind of too late. It's too late for that. I'll apologize for offending the person, but I would stand my ground with like what I say based on the biblical text. I would say my personal feelings about it is irrelevant. And yeah, I'd stand my ground on that. I would even argue that like there are some people within the wrestling business or just that business in general who have the same thoughts as me. They're just smart enough not to say anything about it because they don't want to alienate their fans. They don't want to make the company look bad. And that's smart. That's smart. That's smart not to say. But yeah, you got but the point I'm trying to make is like you got to be smart with it if you want to do something specific in regards to your career path. Like, performing like acting specifically or just like being a performer because like stuff like this what I'm saying right now is probably gonna come back to bite me in the butt. I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna come back to bite me in the butt. And I would say like man, like look, I'll say this right now. I'm sorry if people are offended, but I'm not gonna apologize for what the Bible says. I'm not gonna apologize for that. And my personal feelings about it does not matter. And my personal feelings about it doesn't matter. I have an opinion on it, but that's irrelevant. Because here's the thing: I can be around people of a different sexual orientation. I've seen people as long as they're chill, as long as they're chill, as long as they're not like a stereotype. You know how Johnny Bravo is?
Yeah.
As long as they're not anything like that, where it's then it's like we're good. Which I know I know most of them aren't. But I have an opinion about what you're doing. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong because it separates you from God. And you have an opinion about what I believe in, and that's fine. As long as we can work together, that's fine. I don't mind anybody. I don't really mind it, but I do mind it in terms of your salvation. I would say my personal feelings is that I don't agree with it, but I don't care. But it's as long as you keep your hands. As long as we keep our hands to ourselves, we're good. We can talk. We can chat. We can chat. We can even grab a soda. I would say beer, but I don't drink. A soda or any drink, or even something to eat. I don't know. Talk, but that's it. I can tell you about my life. You can tell me about your life, and whatever. But yeah, this is probably gonna come back to bite me in the butt. It will, if I get into that industry. It will, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of prepared for it. If I feel like they would just fire me. But if I choose to do that, then I'm prepared for it. At first, I was kind of afraid of it, but I'm prepared for it. All I'm gonna say is this: I don't hate them, but obviously, I want them to repent, and my faith comes first. And yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say about that. My faith comes first before any job, before anything really. But yeah, that's man. I'm not gonna lie. That's all I gotta say. Is there anything else in the news?
French woman faces cyberbullying after falling for fake Brad Pitt.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
French woman faces cyberbullying after falling for fake Brad Pitt.
Following fake Brad Pitt?
After falling for fake Brad Pitt.
Falling for fake Brad Pitt.
Yes, she thought it was Brad Pitt. A 53-year-old French woman was scammed out of $850,000 after believing she was dating actor Brad Pitt, as reported in the story headline. The scammer first posed as Pitt's mother and claimed he needed money for kidney treatment due to frozen bank accounts from divorce proceedings with Angelina Jolie.
Wow. I don't really know what to say. I mean, I just got to say that's on the French girl. Why would you believe that you're talking to Brad Pitt? Why would you fall for a fake Brad Pitt? First off, he got the
what did the scammers say that made this woman believe? I guess you are Brad Pitt. I'm gonna give you my money so you could get through with the divorce or something.
Wait, this French woman sent this man money. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How did
of all things, you gave money to what you thought was Brad Pitt.
Was the French girl at least attractive?
There's nothing about the French woman.
Okay.
At all.
Well, it's probably a good thing she's not showing her face, because I'd be ashamed if I sent a fake person, a fake celebrity, my money. I'd be ashamed as well. And I'm like, bro, how? If he's Brad Pitt, he can take care of his own bills. I feel like I've heard of Brad Pitt, but I don't know much about. Is he an actor?
Yes, he's a very well-known actor.
Okay.
Mostly.
Okay, yeah, then I've probably heard of him, but I've definitely heard of him before, because his name does sound familiar. But yeah, it's like, I don't know how anyone falls for that personally, man. It's just a woman, let alone. I mean, we hear of women finessing men, but we never hear of women getting finessed by a man, and wow. Huh. I guess if a woman is that naive enough and and she really likes a famous guy, she will get finessed by the guy, but hey,
I do hope that she. How much did she send again?
$850,000.
Golly, $850,000.
Yes,
Almost
that's a lot.
almost 1 million.
Yes, nearly $1 million. That's a lot of money.
Wow, bro, that is unfortunate. That's unfortunate for her.
It is, yeah.
That is just a crazy amount of money. Dang, you gotta feel bad for her. You kind of do in a way because it's like I don't know, she lost the majority of her money.
And you're never gonna know how advanced AI could be. Like, yeah, I get that falling for Brad Pitt is embarrassing enough, but we gotta know how good is AI to make fake Brad Pitt look as real that she thought that he was.
That is a good question. How good is the fake AI? I remember back in my day, we had nothing but what did we have actually? I don't know.
Well, we got the chance to go outside and enjoy our childhoods instead of being glued to our screens.
Speaking of which, bro, they took their. I mean, I know they probably done this in many McDonald's already, but they took the slide out of McDonald's and they're replacing it with tablets. They're replacing what we used to play in with tablets.
The day has come, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, they're never really going to experience a real childhood. It's kind of sad, really. It
It is, yes.
actually, no, it's extremely sad because, like, bro, it's like these kids are not really going to experience a real childhood. Next thing you know it, they're going to take away the parks. They're going to replace them with I don't know what. They're going to replace the parks. They're going to replace everything that is the park. Like, where you're going to call little Timmy and say, hey, little Timmy, you want to go to the park and play with this technological, like, advanced stuff? And he's going to be like, yes, Dad. And, bro, either that or they're just going to make everything in the park, technology. Man, like, it's sad. Because it's like, we had a childhood, we got to play with our toys, and these kids, they're just playing on their phones, bro. They're just disappointing. What do you think, man?
Very sad, very unfortunate. However, that's how society is progressing. With the rise of AI and other technological advancements, it's likely that a lot of us are going to be glued to our screens for who knows how long.
That's true.
And there is no incentive for us to do anything else that doesn't revolve around technology.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. And it's just gonna get It's just gonna get worse from here.
Yeah.
It's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse from here. And we have to prepare for the worst. We gotta protect our kids. We gotta raise them up to be strong men and women, so that they can be stronger than the tablet kids. Because here's the thing. That's really my goal. I want to raise my children to be better than these kids. I don't know, man. That's what I want for my kids, to be strong, to be alert, to know when and when not to use technology. Well, pretty much to not rely on technology most of the time. I want them to rely on, just what they know. I don't know. Be book smart. I kind of hope that my kid is not like me, where he doesn't like reading. I read, but it's like, look, I'd personally much rather be doing something else other than reading. Gonna be honest, I would, but I do it because, well, it's the Bible. I'm thinking of actually reading other stuff. Thinking of reading other stuff too. Like obviously, reading other stuff too that'll benefit not only me but my health and my family and all that stuff. But I gotta find the books, obviously, and I actually want to write down. I actually want to write more, about certain things that happen in my life that are so significant to me that, well, I just have to write them down. But hey, man, these kids are definitely going to need some real help, and it just shows.
It sure does.
Huh? I guess what also like another thing that I have to say too. Apparently, yes, we all know like the people who happen to be Jewish own the porn industry. American pornography, best known for helping normalize hardcore pornography in the United States. Ford asked Goldstein why Jews were dramatically over
presented in the porn industry? He answered, the only reason that Jews are in pornography is that we think that Christ sucks. Catholicism sucks. We don't believe in authoritarianism. Pornography thus becomes a way of defiling Christian culture, and as it penetrates to the very heart of the American mainstream, and is no doubt consumed by those very same wasps. In its subvertive character, becomes more charged. In 2000, and this was in 2004 also. Alvin Goldstein, born on January 10th, 1936 to December 19th, 2013. Oh, I guess that's when he died. Well, not gonna lie, it's sad that he thinks that Christ sucks, and well, I can't say that he's in heaven, but I don't think I can even say may God rest his soul because I know where he's at. But I'm sorry that he felt that way. I am sorry that he felt that way. And whether if he had a change of heart, I don't know. And I'm not really going to do that much research into it. Apparently he was Jewish and he thought that Christ sucks. And specifically Catholics sucking. But yeah, it's very sad to see. It's very sad and unfortunate that he said that. And yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just very unfortunate.
It sure is.
Yeah, but U.S. House passes a bill to ban trans women from competing in women's school sports. Great. That's great. That is amazing. But is there anything else in the news?
Yes, I've looked at recent voting intention polls for the next UK general election, and I've seen that Reform UK, once again, are making very big strides. Like, they're like 1 percentage point off from Labour. They're ahead overall. Reforms is in second place in terms of percentage of people wanting to vote for that party in the next general election. And electionpolling.co.uk has said that, wow, I can't imagine, you're not going to believe how many Reform UK has gotten between the last general election and what they could get in the next one. So, right now, Reform UK have 5 MPs. Well, 6 if you count the Tory that's defected to Reform UK. If a new general election was to be held tomorrow or today, well, actually tomorrow, they could get 61 MPs in total. That's a net gain of 56. And this is for a new party that started a couple years ago and had like a fraction of the campaign funds than Labour or the Conservatives, the biggest political parties in the UK.
Interesting. I mean, the forward party in the UK is really growing a lot, man. That's very impressive.
The Bruv Party?
No,
What?
but no.
Okay.
Wait. The Bruv Party, is that doing good? Is that in the thing now?
I haven't heard of the Bruv Party, actually.
Huh. I'll be honest. Would you support the Bruv Party? Yeah. well, I do. Andrew Tate is my hero.
Sigma! Oh, good grief.
Yeah, good grief. Golly. I say golly.
Yeah.
I like golly. I don't know. It's like I say good golly. I say oh my golly gosh. You know, it's like I like the word. It sounds nice. But
Yeah, it does.
oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I wasn't gonna say anything else.
Ah, got you. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I love the word. It's a great word. But anyways, is there anything else in the news, or is that it?
I think that's us.
All right. Well, peace.